up, ultra happy people? I am your host, ultra runner and coach Tanya, and back again here with you, your magnificent co-host, Andy.
Hey, I seen you reading that off the screen there. I'm wondering if you forgot my name or not.
It's been a while since we're not...
So you forgot my name?
No, your name, but I think the intro, I needed to practice it a little bit. Well, how are you doing? How's everyone doing? Has your running been doing? Like I was saying, I think it's been a while because life has been a little bit hectic here. And we haven't been recording for a little bit. So,
well, I haven't been recording for a bit.
Well, you've been, yeah.
You've been busy. We've had lots of guests and different stuff.
Yeah, we have a lot of guests. But how's been your running doing so far?
Yeah, good. I'm back on it. I think last time I was speaking on the podcast, I kind of lost my juju a wee bit.
Oh yeah, I think that was the last. So update us what's happening.
But I think that was just because my time was being filled with other things more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
But back on it again. Feeling good, back at it, back out, back running again, getting back to being consistent again, which is probably my most important thing. So yeah, loving it. Getting outside is a bit of a change. You and I went running again the other night there. It's the first time in a wee while, and I know I need to do more of it.
Yeah.
So while that was still challenging, humidity is just a killer.
Yeah.
The humidity is always a problem.
It's going to start getting better, hopefully, and then that way you can definitely try it out a little bit more.
Although we often joke about the fact that when are you not a professional runner, when are you an experienced runner? But we bought my first running vest, utility vest.
For running, to carry your wee water bottles.
To carry my water bottles and my gels if I ever decide to use them. But actually, do you know what?
You're growing up so fast.
For anybody staying in Dubai that's listening to this, we found an outlet called Sun, Sea and Sand.
Yeah.
And absolutely brilliant. It's so it was so cheap, and it's just like last season's all sort of running brands and everything else.
It's like the big kept secret.
I came out looking like Sally McRae, didn't I, for like Nike Trail stuff.
I know.
So actually, I discovered there's nothing more inspiring than getting yourself a new kit out.
If you're hitting a bit of a rough patch. Yeah, get yourself a new outfit. That definitely sparks up a little bit, isn't it?
I even got a MTUMB? How do you say it again?
UTMB.
UTMB. I even got a UTMB Nike Trail t-shirt.
Oh my God.
Look
at these people.
I know. By the way, still not a trail runner. But just to be.
He's a fan of the sport now. And that's how you start. You start watching it. We were watching the UTMB actually, speaking of, on the TV and following up. And yeah, I think once you start liking the sport, it's just easier to kind of
I guess actually see that the more I think about it, like 6 months ago, I wouldn't even have known who Sally McRae was.
Or what UTMB is.
And now she's like an inspiration in Nike for me.
Because you like Nike as well. So it's but yeah, like I said, so you're running good, everything good. We are looking forward to put your name into a race soon as well. There is a couple of races now coming in Dubai, so we'll check them out.
Actually, aren't they? There's like
it's because all the races here in Dubai are happening in winter for us.
Yeah.
That's when most people can do the running outside.
And typical Tanya, as I'm always thinking to myself, right, for my first race, let's get me maybe a half marathon under my belt or something like that. Or maybe even a 15k, but I'm in my head I've got the half marathon, and I know you guys out there have been promising doing this for months now, but that's in my head. So Tanya messages me the other day, what about this race? And it's obviously an ultra. It's obviously got like 25,000 meters bloody, what do you call it? Vert. Do you know what I mean? And it's loops for like 12 hours. And I'm like...
But you can do 1 or 2 loops. You can actually register for 2 loops.
Yeah, I know, but... Nah, I'll be... I
think it would be a great taste for trails.
Never say never. I always laugh at these things and end up...
Like I said, you're going to be there anyways for 12 hours. You better just spend 2 hours doing something. So, I think it would be a good spend weekend.
I think that before... I don't know about everybody else out there, when you're going to go into your first race or whatever, in my head, I've kind of got it that I'm just going to go, I'm going to do it at my own pace. I don't want any pressure, anything like that. But see, when you start talking or getting closer to it, your mindset changes a wee bit. Or for example, when you're saying to me, do you know what it is? What about if we do this loop thing with the elevation? I'm thinking, I don't want to be bloody last in that. Do you know what I mean? I don't
But the beauty is that there's going to be people like me doing the same loop for 12 hours. So you're never going to be the last one.
You still be,
you just finish.
There's got to be still some kind of leaderboard at times and how you're performing.
But who cares?
Nah, I know.
If you've learned something about all the people we've spoken to,
no. But that's what I'm saying. I think it's different. I don't know why it feels different. I think if I was going to do the race, like the ones that I'm looking at, I feel like I'm doing them on my terms. Whereas with the ones that you're sending me, I feel like that's not on my terms and it's a bit more competitive, and I don't want to feel under pressure or competitive in it.
I think it's the opposite, but okay.
Just shows you people think no, it's different.
Because it's a 12-hour loop, so there's going to be a lot of people around. Like you're not going to be the last one. Definitely.
Never say never.
No, because there is people doing it 12 hours. So there's no chance you would do for someone doing 2 loops.
If you can sign in on 2 loops, then obviously.
But no one's going to notice because there's going to be like a lot of people there for a whole half a day. So you will get lost in all the multitude, right? On all the people. But if you do a 10K in the street or a 15K, you can arrive last.
Well,
because there's no people behind you anymore.
Listen, no doubt. Either way, I'm going to be there. I'm either going to be there running 2 loops, or I'm going to be there crewing you, and I'm going to be all kitted up in my Nike trail gear, looking like a pro.
There you go. That's it, guys. That's what's been happening the last month with Auntie. And yeah, because I mean, we miss you so much. It's been a month almost since we don't sit here to chat, like I said. And we did leave you with some amazing guests with incredible stories.
Wait a minute.
What?
We missed out the section.
Oh, real? You were talking. I thought you were going to...
We missed out the Andy's Facts section.
Okay.
We haven't done it in ages.
There is facts by Andy.
I am going to find bloody facts again about... I've got a question for you. I know I'll be catching you off guard with it, but I've got a question for you. Right, Andy's Facts. Love these. I feel like I'm part of the running community with these. Right, okay. So, first one is about pace decline. Did you know that the average pace of ultra runners has slowed down by 15% from 11:35 minutes per mile in 1996 to 13:16 in 2023? So in general, the pace deadline is slowed down. They manage it by times of ultras.
Yeah, but I will need to read what races or how they're taking these times, because the truth is the ultra running are getting faster because they are breaking records.
No, but what you're getting wrong is that there's more people doing ultra running. So ultra running itself since 1996 it's grown by 1,226%.
Yeah,
so because you've got a higher volume of people, it's slowed down a bit.
Right. Yeah, maybe.
So although there's more records getting broken by the elite, because there's more people doing it, the pace is actually slowed down.
Oh, that makes sense. Plus, I think also the distances are getting further and further and further. And also, very important, that is ultra, right? What kind of ultra? Like, is there a distance or is it all of the ultras? Like 50s?
I don't know. Do you want me to tell you whether they're wearing Nikes or Hokas?
I know you're.
Or do you want? Or do you want it by Sunto or Garmin?
Because it's not the same at 50, clearly, than 100 or than.
That's 200. Why they use the word average.
Okay. Yeah.
Jesus. Okay, so next one is about slowdown rates. Did you know that women slow down 19% less than men during long races, especially in ultra events like 100 mile plus?
I think we said this the day that we were talking about.
We did. We said that they run longer distances, but women slow down 19%.
Less, but we didn't know the number.
But we didn't know that, so that's quite interesting as well.
And that is why probably that chat that we were saying that women, if the longer the race, they can, that gap between men and women gets,
the further it goes, bigger.
So sometimes women, the longer the races, women can come front a bit.
Now this is one that you and I probably later on will have some sort of an argument, and I'm going to find the scientist that found it.
Oh no, right.
So it says, from a female endurance point of view, right, recent studies have shown that women have been shown to convert fat into energy more efficiently, which give them an advantage in the long races.
That's true though.
Oh my God, did you agree with me?
It's true. We are fat adapted.
Well, how come every 2 minutes that I'm in the gym or I'm doing something, I'm always come up and saying, oh look, I think I can see an ab coming, I'll probably have one next year, and you'll say, oh well, it's dead easy for guys to get one, it'll take me like 40 years to get one. And, but yet you
But that doesn't mean that we burn it like skinnier. We're gonna get skinnier faster. It means that we use it as fuel. So we are just to be clear, adapted.
You still burn it?
No, not like. Otherwise, you will feel.
So you're converting fat into energy. So therefore, you are.
But you keep it as well more.
On your hips, definitely.
You keep it more. Exactly. That's why you're fat adapted, because you store more, right? Not because you burn it, but you keep more as well.
That's what you always say to me. I mean, it always goes to my hips.
Always goes to my hips. So, we are very fat adapted because clearly we have more fat storage.
Well, let's just put it this way. Maybe you're just better at distributing it.
Better distributed.
Yeah. I think that's
we do look better though than men.
Okay, so next one. And this is one I have a question for you. And some of these people might have questions. Some of the listeners might have questions on this as well.
All right.
So women have more slow twitch muscle fibers, which help them maintain endurance over long distances, while men have more fast twitch fibers for more speed. So my question for you is, because I read that and thought, I don't know what that means. So what are slow and fast twitch fibers, and what does that even mean?
Right. I feel like I'm in school when I went to coaching school and I had to grab my paper or the test.
I think this is things like me that people read and go, what does that even mean?
Yeah. So slow or fast twitch muscles fibers are all about endurance, right? So it is they're fibers in the muscle, right? That's what the muscle fibers are. And there are ones that are slow twitching, which are more for endurance. So they move slower so they can last longer. And they are the fast twitching, which is they move faster, or they are adapted to move faster. And those are good for sprinters or people that can move fast and powerful. Right.
Okay.
So, and they get fatigued really, really fast.
Okay.
So, and like you were saying, women, we do have more slow twitch. So that goes hand on hand on what we were saying, that we are very good at endurance because we have more genetically, more fibers that last longer. They move slower, but they last longer.
So let's just for example talk about legs.
Legs mostly.
So if we're just talking about legs, are we saying that in men have fast twitch fibers in the legs which make them faster? So that's easier for me to remember, but they'll get tired faster.
Yeah.
But women have slow twitch fibers in their legs which allows them to go longer.
Yeah. Slower but longer.
But with training, can that change? So for guys who are decide to do long distance running after training, they can change it up.
Yes, you can change, and it's easier, in theory, to change the fast ones to turn into slow ones. So make someone a fast runner to be an endurance runner.
Okay. So that's an easy way to remember it then.
Also, obviously, there is people that this is by genetics or like your statistic, right? But probably statistically, there's going to be one or two anomalies that you were going to see women that have like a lot of, fast twitch muscle fibers, and that is absolutely fine. As well as men, probably, there will be someone that really adapted well or depending on the lifestyle or how they grew up or whatever, that's how they would turn into, maybe that person has a lot of slow twitch muscle fibers. So yeah.
Well, actually, that's good. I'm glad we cleared that up, because now when I'm reading that sort of stuff, I know what it means.
Yeah. So you do one if you are an endurance athlete, ultra runner, or that's what you want to hit into. You should focus in building slow twitch muscle fiber.
How do you manage that and concentrate on that? How do you identify what stage you're at?
It's built up with time.
Like, for example, my watch doesn't tell me that.
No. Sadly, no. There is, I mean, if you want to go super scientific, you can get like tests, obviously, to get that. Yeah. Or it's just with a lot of time. The only bad thing is it takes a long time to build up that slow runs. That's why it's so important that I tell you, and you probably guys read all about it everywhere, that you have to slow down to go
run faster
or longer because of that. Because the slow twitch it needs to be, you need to practice that slow twitch so they start converting a little bit more. And that's why it's important to run slow as well. There you go.
Well explained.
Yeah.
I like
hope it's clear.
Okay, last one, right?
All right, last one.
So psychological edge.
Yeah.
Some theories suggest that women's psychological resilience and multitasking abilities may contribute to their success in extreme endurance events over men. What about that?
Love it.
So, I'm saying to all the guys out there, come on, guys, we need to do better. I'm going to promise to do it. I'm going to promise to do it.
An ultra
run if we need to change this. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I thought that was quite interesting as well.
It's interesting.
It backs up everything we've said.
Also, because we just seen that happening in the UTMB this year.
Yeah, that's right.
You see, there was a lot. I mean, I don't have this. I wish I knew you were going to say that particularly. But I was reading that there was a lot of elite athletes that dropped out of the UTMB. It was big news. I mean, we can look at the news. It was like 50% or more, I think, of elite athletes dropping from top 10 that dropped out of the race. And women, I think they were like around 30% only that drop out of the race. Maybe, yes, the times, that's what I was saying, times are getting faster. People are getting hot and heavy since the beginning. Obviously, men just exploded, but women were able to manage to. But in a race, usually, we've seen it in the UTMB because it just happened and it's famous and the statistics out there. But if you see any of my races as well, and if I have chat with any race directors that, once in a while that you're chatting and you have these conversations, they've noticed and they've told me that as well. Women do not back down as easy as men. Like they don't.
Guys, we need to do something about this.
Yeah.
But you know something as well, right? And I know that, you've been running, 9 years now, coming on 10 years. I've been running for 6 minutes. But I've been watching along with you all these documentaries and all these races over the years, and we do, to be fair, follow certain runners. That's 100%. We follow them because we like to see their performance. But I remember that the race calendar for some of these runners would have been 4 ultras a year in years gone past. Yeah. Now they're doing like 9. So I think that there's an element of that surely must be contributing to dropout rates in certain races. It would be the same in sprinting. It would be the same in any sport, surely. Do you know what I mean? The race calendar now is getting that big, and there's
more races,
more to do.
Definitely,
and there's like for example, there's that many back-to-back races to beat to be the first person to do it, or to be the first this or the first
and
that.
To be honest,
it seems to be that the race calendar's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and we're competing more and more and more.
And to be honest, also the gear, the nutrition, everything is like getting more perfected to this sport because it's getting a lot of business, a lot of money, exposure, and that everything is, optimizing. It's about optimizing the performance, and everyone's more into it, and the races are getting faster, and it's just getting, it's getting wild,
But that's it. While it's hard. It's about the athletes making the right decisions on what they should be doing and not overstretching themselves. Because the flip side of it is it's good that all these things are happening. The sport deserves it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It deserves all the bigger calendar and the bigger prize funds.
Definitely. Hopefully a little bit more prize fund there for sure. But yeah, it was funny to see that in the UTMB that happened, and it was just very interesting to see a lot of people just blowing up. But hopefully that doesn't happen to us.
Hopefully. It's not going to happen to me, that's sure.
We'll figure it out in 2 weeks' time. So yeah, going back into the chat, thank you so much for your very interesting statistics.
It's just, do you know what? I just hadn't done it for so long. I felt the need.
I know. I feel like we all need to learn a little bit about running. It's just not running, right? And yeah, we've been away. Obviously, like I said, it's been a while since we don't sit here. But I left you with really cool stories of, I called it stories from the deserts, because it's people that I met during these races, and I've told you it's incredible, some stories, and I just needed to showcase them because it was incredible. And if you haven't heard them yet, you need to go back to 4 episodes ago and you will hear all the stories. We had everything, but they are all so motivational and so inspiring in their own way. And the last one, I think, is the one that we haven't touched, we haven't discussed yet. And Jasmine is the current women Grand Slam winner. And she won 2nd place in Namibia and 1st place in Gobi. And I found our chat so interesting. I mean, they all been interesting, right? Like I said, they all have their own kind of like inspiring side and motivational side. But there was something in particular about her adventurous soul that I just loved. And it's just, I think like she's like the real Sheena, the warrior.
Sheena.
Just like doing crazy things. She went from hijacking.
Hijacking? No.
Hijacking.
No.
Hitchhiking.
Hitchhiking. You've even got it bloody written down.
No, I wrote it down. Hitchhiking. No. Hitchhiking. Yeah.
Not hijacking, please.
No. Don't do that ever, please. For fun. To winning ultramarathons.
Do you know something?
I know I was going to say that wrong.
Do you know something, right? Seeing all the guests that we've had on the show, I thought that there was one common theme with them all, apart from them all being crazy. There was one common theme with them all, is they all had this urge to do something that was going to make a difference, whether it be for them or their family or whatever, but something mentally that they were going to challenge themselves. I mean, we joke about Sandeep and all that, about the leather pants and the Harley, or it could be somebody after they've after they've had their stroke. You know, had to get out there and prove to themselves. There was that common theme, I thought.
Yeah.
And all those conversations were really inspirational to me. I thought they were really interesting. However, when it came to Jasmine, I felt, even though she had that theme and it was almost in the back there, that wasn't her reason. Her reason was whenever she was young, a bit like you, she was told that she couldn't do things because she was small or because she was a girl. She was told that she couldn't do some things, and then see when she
her family always told her that
her family were told she's capable of everything.
Yeah.
But see when she said that she hitchhiked to China, my floor, literally, when I heard that, my jaw was on the floor, because in my head, and I think normally for anyone, when they hear that and they see Jasmine, they think, no.
Exactly.
But the beauty of that interview was that made me think differently.
She is the cutest lady ever. Like, she is so good looking. So, like, it's not that it has to do with it, but you know, she would. What I mean is, like, she would call the attention in you know.
I think you're right. Everybody's story was inspiring, but hers was inspiring in a different way. I think for me, it actually made me think about what my initial reactions are sometimes, because when she said that, my jaw hit the floor, a bit like when the guy said to you, "You're an ultra runner." When she said that she'd done that hitchhiking across China, and I'm sure you'll touch upon it as well, the Atlantic crossing as well, you could have picked my jaw up off the floor, because when to look at her, you wouldn't think that was the case. But then that comes back to me and my expectations of what people's capabilities are. Yeah. And actually, after that conversation you had with her, it made me rethink that I can't think like that anymore. because
that is so beautiful.
But everybody is capable of everything. Yeah. I mean, you just need to have the right mindset for it. That is the
beauty of this world, isn't it?
You need to have the right mindset for it.
I think in ultra running and maybe all the sports, I'm just talking about ultra running because that's the one I have closer to me, and I know people and I know the stories, and I've seen it happen 100 times. Those stories happen all the time. Yeah. And then you are passed sometimes in a race by the old lady that is 80 years old, and she's way faster than you. And you think you're gonna, you can never judge anyone in any way.
She's probably been doing it for 6 weeks as well.
It is just brutal. Namiv race was Jasmine's first race, and she won second place. Can you just imagine that? I've been training for 9 years. I will never be as close to her ever. Like, she is just absolutely standing.
But see, that's another kind of common theme that's came for the guests. There is none of those guests that, no disrespect, that have been doing it for 9 years the way you have.
No.
They've all came out of nowhere and decided that they're going to do something, and using
they surprised themselves
and using the mental side, they've used that to overcome the physical side, because none of them have really done much training to get into that position. You know,
or races or long,
but then that made me think as well about expectations. When we talk about getting ready for a race, so say that I'm going to do this half marathon, and I'm thinking I'm going to need to get ready. I'm going to need to start getting ready now for December. Some people are going out there and just going, I'm going to do it next week.
Exactly. I think that's the easiest way to do it. It's like when you're going to go into like cold, freezing waters, you cannot just tiptoe and go in really slow. You just have to jump and just end it quickly. Yeah. And her story and all the stories, and more so Jasmine, because out of nowhere, she just decided to do it, and she trained a little bit, but not 9 years. It just made me wonder how many women are out there, particularly women.
Not just women, men as well.
I guess men, or how many people out there or listeners are not trying to do something difficult because of fear, or and they have that undiscovered talent. Maybe you do have a talent and you never discovered it because you're too scared, or you're trying to find the right time to sign up, or you want to get ready for it, so you're going to sign up until next year for something. But maybe you have the talent, or maybe if you don't have the talent, you will,
It's kind of almost about just having a fundamental base fitness, but then using determination to make you overcome your mental fear of getting something done.
It's so important for you to try things, difficult things. I mean, again, we're talking about ultra running because that's what we're talking here about. But I guess it comes down to anything in life as well, even business or anything. Just, go in. And overall, chatting with all the athletes that we were saying, I think the main message that you were saying is not to be fearless, but to have that fear. It's okay to have like that second doubts and be fear, and then just still do it with that fear in your heart, but just still go and do it with fear and all, and just be brave, because it is super fun to redefine your own limits. Particularly, I think that's why I do these kind of challenges, and not because I'm good at it. Clearly, I've been running 9 years and I have never won anything.
Listen, you're getting better. Listen, here, Jasmine's not doing the next one, so there's a place in the podium. Maybe you can do that.
I can jump suddenly 8 places up. But clearly, because I'm not as good, and I'm not going to win. But it's because I want to see what's possible for me. Right. And I think that is where the beauty is.
But then also in the conversations, and just to caveat what you're saying there, is you still have to do things within your own limits.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, with Jasmine, when she was talking about I just decided to get on a bike and cross Thailand, or I just decided to do to get on a bike and go and do this.
Don't spoil it.
No, but I chucked my job, I got rid of my house, and I was away in 24 hours. That is not within everybody's limits.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Not everybody can do that. No. So you've got to still, she's a particular breed of person that just is like, I'm going to do it, and that's it. Yeah. Because she wants to, when she dies, remember the challenges in life and the successes, do you know what I mean, of that nature, rather than potentially, like we talked about business, whether you've been successful in business and you've made those leaps in business.
You can start a little bit though. You don't need to jump like Jasmine did, like I'm going to sell everything and go. But you can start a little, like signing up for that half marathon that you're like kind of like thinking about. Or maybe if there's no race, you can just go on your own and do your own distance.
Like me.
That can be another idea. If you don't want the pressure of being in a race or that kind of like pressure of, I don't want to be the last one, you can just go out and do it on your own. It's okay as well.
Did you write that to include me?
Just exactly. So the thing is, just go ahead, put your effort in. You will figure it out on the way, I'm pretty sure. And again, like I said, it's not training. It's not only training wise, because I truly believe your mental state also impacts training.
See throughout the podcast, throughout the 3 series, the 3 series we've had, and through many of the episodes, we've talked about how in the beginning you started off saying anybody can do this, and then after the maybe you said not everybody can do this. But then we're flip flopping again, because see, after the guests. Yeah. I think after the guests, it makes me think that anybody can do it.
I think you can. You just have to be very mentally prepared. And not physically so much, but definitely mental. You have to have a very strong mental toolkit. And if you don't have a mental toolkit yet, just be ready to make some tools on the fly. Like, just know it's not going to be easy. It is tough.
Oh, okay, so I think we need to just agree on one thing.
Yeah.
Can everybody do it?
Yes or no?
Can everybody do it or not? Or is it going to be down to circumstance? We'll just leave it ambiguous and never talk about it again.
I think anyone can do it, but if you're not like a wimp, though. That's like, obviously, if you don't want to get your nails dirty or you don't
I don't know why I checked my nails.
I know, it's like, if you don't, if you're that kind of person that don't partake, but maybe that's the person that needs it the most. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a strange one.
I don't know. It's a strange one. But why don't you all guys sign up for something really difficult? Let me know if anyone can do it.
Sounds like a plan. There's a challenge to everyone out there.
There's a challenge. You guys can answer that question, because I think we're flip-flopping. I'm not sure.
We are.
Something we all have to discover, I guess. But like I said, I want to do it because I want to see what's possible for me. And I want to see mostly what can I build if I put my work every day, because I want to see what I can build at some stage. Put my little work every day, and for me in my head, that's how I kind of like picture it. Is that the work that I put a day is a brick. So day by day, I go and put my brick and break just to see, and I want to see what can I build, like what kind of skyscraper can I build out of that. And sometimes. What?
I'd be happy with just building a wall in the bedroom. You
stay
one side, I'll stay the other.
I used to say a house or like a castle, but now that I'm in Dubai, I think
a table.
or a table. But now that I'm in Dubai, I've actually been a little bit more inspired, because I was like, wow. I think skyscrapers are a little bit cooler than that.
Sky's the limit.
So I like it. So I've been thinking, like, kind of like rethinking my thought about building a castle. I used to say castle before, like you need to build your castle with your bricks, but now I think I want to say skyscraper. And it's really cool, because actually the metaphor that I'm going to talk about is more soothing, because in the good trainings, the good days, you build a nice wall and you're feeling great. Good trainings and also good seasons in life, and why not, you're building like a really nice, but then there's going to come times in life, and that is going to, throw you a curveball, something that you don't have planned, and your training is not going to be doing good or great, and then you still have to put the brake. Maybe it's not going to be a really nice, strong brake, because it may be a little bit broken and a little bit, they're kind of like not looking so pretty, but that, or a little bit, turn, and why not? And then that's what it's going to make that skyscraper beautiful, because here in Dubai, the crazier the skyscraper, the more it calls more the attention. We have one that is like all twisted, and I thought that is just beautiful. Like, and I want to see what can I build day after day after day, just putting my work in. And And like I said, it's not only training, because obviously training is impacted by your life as well. Like I said, your mental state, and sometimes you can feel super happy at home and, it's all sunshine and rainbows, and you have the energy then to go out and really, kill that hard workout. But that may change if you're going through a difficult breakup, or if you have like financial difficulties, your training may be impacted as well, because all that is a stress, and maybe you don't have, the energy or the motivation to go and do a hard session or to train as much. So, but still go out there and put that tiny break, even though if it's a crooked one, like I said, and you never know, but that may help to support a stronger break or a stronger, because happier seasons or better seasons will come for sure. And that's sort of what we are facing at the moment. The love of my life. I have a very, very sad news for everyone. The love of my life, my little Chato, which I think you guys seen it in.
Yeah, you've seen him a couple of times.
In a couple of times, in a couple of episodes.
Definitely on the Instagram.
Oh yeah, he's all over the Instagram. He was like super famous. Sadly, he left us 2 weeks ago. Exactly 2 weeks ago. Actually, exactly 2 weeks ago, because it was at 6:20 and it is 6:30 here. Exactly 2 weeks ago, and it's of course something that wasn't planned. Life threw us a curveball. It was a really difficult 2 weeks before that happened, and obviously that impacted my training and my head, and my motivation wasn't there, obviously, in the last couple of weeks. But I still showed up. I still went to my training. Maybe it wasn't like the 3 hours. Maybe I, did 1.5 hours. And maybe the strength trainings, that I did weren't as strong, because I wasn't feeling very strong or very, happy. And maybe I cut off some shorts, some runs short. Just taking care of myself as well took a lot of time. So I'm entering that painful season in my life. I still showing up. I still putting that, that break in there. And it was 14 years of having him around, 14. And it's not going to be easy to suddenly, it hasn't been easy to suddenly just, you're so used to him and so used to his. And I'm so used to being so balanced in my life, like everything in the house is usually happy and good, and with my family as well. And, I'm usually a happy camper, but definitely, and I'm usually like, I'm very positive. I feel like you can fix everything with a little bit of positivity and energy. But definitely, I think death is one of those that there's no way to fix it.
I think that you've not really faced death as such, apart from your grandma.
That's the other one. It's never.
Yeah, so I think it's been particularly hard for you to get over it. But I think that one thing, as much as, well, we're obviously devastated to lose the wee man, and not to dwell on it too much. But again, that's something that will make you stronger once you come through this, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously it's never going to be the perfect timing, but it was good that happened when my parents were here. So it was, it was sort of nice that he was surrounded with so much love, all the people that have loved him for all his life. And he truly had the best life. And I usually take what ultra running has taught me into my normal life and vice versa. And if ultra running has taught me something, is that nothing lasts forever. And I think I talked to you guys about it in one of the episodes. So, I do let myself feel whatever I feel in the moment. I'm not a person that overthinks a feeling or tries to fight it. If I feel sad, I just go with it. And if I feel happy, I ride the wave as well. And, and if I see that the struggle boss is pulling in, I'm like, all right, let's go in and let's try to have the best time in that struggling bus. Like I said, just ride the wave, get in and enjoy the ride, because there's no point of fighting it. So again, with that thought, it's been difficult weeks, because some days I'm really happy and I'm okay. And then there's going to be obviously moments that I'm like running and I feel like suddenly just the sadness just hits me really hard. But it's going to be my first time going into a race with this kind of heavy heart. I don't know how is that going to affect me. I know I have to be ready for it. Think I'm ready for it because I know it's going to happen. And yeah, I don't know how can you be ready for something that you've never faced before. I know there's people that they get strength out of a loss, or they can break you as well. So yeah, I'm just gonna see how my mind and my body and how we solve on the go whenever we feel weak. If
I think that see we right from the very beginning, and you've mentioned the word mental toolkit. Just there, that is done you. That's taking you through lots of places.
Yeah.
If you think about it, granted, not necessarily about things like death or something close to you like that, but some really difficult times out there running. I guess it'll be about how transferable that is.
Yeah.
That mental toolkit from being mentally stuck in a particular place to an emotional side, because what it is going to be now is it's going to be emotional.
Yeah.
Now, you would think it would be easy, but you're going into the unknown for you. For some people, it will be easy. Maybe for some, it won't. So it's about you getting your head around that and how it's going to work.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't know what work you can do about it before you go, because when you're out there alone,
it's just me in my head.
Your head.
You don't have anyone to be like, come on. And I don't think I would like it. I do like dealing with all those things alone. I think that's the healthiest way. So I'm prepared because I know the low moments in these race are going to be particularly very low. And because I'm usually don't have any, I do have low moments in the sense of like, oh, my feet hurt, but there's no a low moment like, oh, my soul hurts. So in this one, I know it's going to be a matter of my heart and my like physically and mental pain. But I'm ready to dive in. Listen,
I think that it's going to sound terrible, but I think it's something that would be really interesting to talk about when you come back.
Yeah,
because
I have no idea.
Yeah, but not only that, I think that other people hearing your story about that could possibly help them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean, if something happens to them along the way down the line or whatever, I think it would be really interesting.
Well, if you're going through a tough time, obviously, like I said, I'm not a specialist in going through difficult times. Actually, I feel like I'm very blessed. This is like the first truly true, like you were saying, thing that I'm facing that really broke me. So yeah, I think the only advice I have for myself in this case, like I said, and I always said it, is just gonna face it, and I'm not scared of facing it. And I actually even had a sad playlist ready for it.
Yep, you have.
I mean, if you try it, because I talk to myself, right?
Merenguita, remember Merenguita, everybody?
Yeah, remember
the alter ego.
My alter ego. If my alter ego wants to go to that dark place, man, I'm ready. I will grab you through the hand. I'm gonna say,
take you with me.
Give me a second. I'm gonna put my playlist, my sad playlist song, which I have, and let's go in. I'm not scared. I've never been scared in that sense.
Listen,
so
you better bring Merenguita back with you, because
that's gonna be fun. You want to go and dance? Let's go and dance. I'm ready for that. So yeah, it will be interesting in that area to chat about it, or if you've gone through something like that and if you want to share it and tell me an advice, because I am not scared, but definitely going into the unknown in that sense.
Be interesting.
So like I said, I am building this, putting my break. This is going to be an interesting season for me. It's not going to be perfect. This is definitely a lot of feeling good and feeling not good, and just kind of like tweaking, walls and cricket walls and all that, building this season. So, but yeah, that's what it makes everyone skyscraper or castle or house, whatever you're building, makes it unique, because that is you and your own journey and your own life. What's making it that form and shape and colors, or why not? So that's why it makes it so unique for each one of us, and that's why it makes it beautiful. So yeah, I'm interesting to see what can I build after this, or what this is, shaping of. And yeah, that's the sad news, guys. But anyway, so we are 10 days away from Jordan.
10 days.
Maybe when I put it up, it's going to be like 8.
Yeah,
So
I was going to say, I know.
I think it's our last episode before I hit. Oh no, I know. You can come and chat with them if you want. You are, you're going to be left in the hands of your beautiful co-host.
Beautiful. Oh wow. We're actually in the process of getting the bag ready, so the nutrition and everything just now.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you've been a long ways the whole journey, you know how that goes. You'll have seen it happen. You'll have heard about it in the past.
It all happening. I had to have in my notes. I said to tell you about the gear and the fuel. We are keeping everything the same. I think we haven't done any bad mistake in the sense of hydration and nutrition. Maybe adding a little bit more of spicy stuff. I've had my parents brought me a lot of spicy candy from Mexico. So thank God it's not going to be a lot of fuegos anymore. Maybe a little bit, but I do have more spicy candies that I love. So
in fact, we had your friend Lisa up.
Oh, yeah.
Who has been part of the Racing the Planet races as well.
Yeah.
And we let her try some of the spicy candies.
Did she like it or
she
not?
loved them.
She loved it.
She loved them. She actually said that you need to bring her some so that she can have some on her journey on the race.
Lisa, I'll bring some for you. I'll bring a couple for people to try. Well, no, because some people in race days, they don't want to try anything that they haven't tried.
But Lisa definitely she wants the pulpo thing.
The pulparindo. Yeah. Mexicans. Pulparindos, you know what I'm talking about. That's a good deal. So yeah, I'm just adding those. But apart from that, same dehydrated meals that we seen that I showed you in the season 1.
Horrible.
That was ages ago.
Horrible.
But that episode that I showed you, that's exactly what we're keeping the same. Maybe a little bit more or less just to get the weight perfect. Remember, we should be around 8 kilos. I do not want to run with more than that. So the food wise, it will have to, sometimes I do have to compromise 1 or 2 gels for weight. And that has to do, it depends so much in yourself, obviously. So I cannot tell you, pack this and pack that. It's going to be so personal. If you ever want to try to do any of these races, I am more than happy to help you all with some advice. But you do have to be, it's the same as shoes, the same as clothes, the same as back. It's just so personal. But in my case, everything that we've done for Desert 1 and 2, it's been worked well. Yeah, the backpack is really good. My red light, I love my backpack. I love my visor. I'm going to be bringing my visor again this time. The Aura Sunwear, the big visor that you see in the pictures, just because I find it more comfortable when there's a lot of sand.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you're bending over, I've seen people that they throw their sunglasses in the ground and it's all over the place, sand everywhere. And also I don't like it because I sweat more, clearly, because it's really sunny. And it's just kind of
yeah, it saves a problem with
the
your nose. And your ears.
My nose just gets. Even sometimes here, I'm running and with the sunglasses, and I feel like it's too heavy. I don't know. I just feel like.
Do you think that
it's too close?
You're training here because you have been out quite a lot running in the sand and running in the sun. Do you think that you're going to be a bit better acclimatized than Jordan?
I was excited about that. Remember, I think the last episode I was saying that I'm excited to see how this turns, but now I don't know. I feel like. I'm more acclimatized in the sense that I live here and I've lived, but I haven't. I do have trained a little bit in the heat.
Yeah, you have done. I mean, look at your long runs on a Sunday, which are 3-4 hours. You're out there in the heat and humidity. Doing it, so.
Yeah, not as hot, but yeah, but hot as Jordan probably. Yeah. I just don't know if that's going to be taken over by the sadness. So I don't know yet. I don't know. I don't really know how is that going to work. So we'll figure it out. I will let you know.
I will figure it out and let you know.
Just stay here for season before when I come back. That would be so much fun. And I am sure I'm going to come back with so many stories again. We'll do the same thing. I'll bring you all the details from stage to stage and what happened out there. I am excited because I do like the deserts, like desert with sand. I just think it's a beautiful scenery. I've been to Jordan before. If you remember in season 1, I was telling you all about Ultra X, one of the races I did in Jordan. And I actually think I'm going back to the same place where it was, or around the same park. Obviously, the Wadi Rum is massive. So it will be somewhere around there. And it's a different type of sand, it's a different type of desert than Namibia. This one definitely looks like you're walking in Mars because it's all red and it has like this massive, more hard packed sand, and they have like massive rock formations that I am looking forward to see and to run through. Remember that in Jordan, I was excited for the sand dunes, and in Gobi, I was excited to touch those praying charms. And for this one, I think I'm excited to see the rock formations and just kind of like feel like I'm in an alien planet, just walking between some red sand. It's different, but it's really beautiful.
I have one last question for you.
Raise your hand. Yeah.
You know how you always go into these races and you say that you have a word? Mm-hmm. Have you thought about what your word will be for this race?
Well, I thought all the races, all this season, or the whole racing Grand Slam Plus was one word, legacy. It was still the same one.
Did you say lazy?
Legacy.
Legacy, okay.
Yeah, because I'm building my legacy because I do want to have my name in that website as the first Mexican to cross the 5 deserts. So whenever I am feeling a little bit week, I said, do you want your name in there with the first Mexican? And that's going to go, that's going to stay there for the books forever. So
if you remember in the very first episode of the very first season we done, I just said, Tanya just wants to be famous.
I just want to have, and I said, yes, well, I don't know famous, but I do want to have my name in that website. And that's what it dragged me to it, really, because I looked for it and it's a blank space when you can pick the nationalities, and there was no Mexican. So I thought, how cool would that be? And yeah, another thing I wanted to say is how I'm feeling, because I had questions. But I don't know where my phone is. But the question is how I was feeling. I know I'm close to my race. How am I feeling, like if I'm recovering or what I'm doing for taper? I still training a little bit. We are entering taper week this week. So my runs, there's not going to be any more 4-hour run, 3-hour runs. There's going to be like hour and a half, really slow runs with a backpack just to get used to carrying it.
More pizza?
More pizza, yes. We're starting to eat again a little bit more than usual to build up those carb stores. Like you were saying, keeping the fat adapted.
I keep getting your fat ready to adapt.
Fat ready to get
fuel.
To get fueled up. But I am feeling knackered. That's what I wanted to say. I feel maybe it's because the hell of a month we went through. And or the training, I train consistently, yes, but this training is definitely difficult in the sense it's a lot of hours. Like I am tired of going out there every Saturday, 4 hours with the backpack. Like it's getting tiring. That's one, physically. And mentally, thinking about the races a whole year is mentally tiring. Because you usually have one race, right? And then you prepare for that race, you do it, and you actually have like the race blues the next day or the next kind of couple of days. Because then you're like, oh, what I was preparing for, it's over, and you're not gonna let me lie. All the runners, you prepare for that race, and then the next day you're like, oh, that's it, it's over. Like I don't have anything else to do. But in this case, I have a whole year living with that, with that voice in my head. Like
me too.
So, and this is number 3, guys. So we're not even halfway.
But I wonder if you think after this one, before you go, because it's Antarctica next, isn't it?
Oh my God.
After this one, you think, well, I've broke the back of it. I've only got 2 left.
Yeah.
And you might see it's like the run downhill now rather than the run up.
Well, I don't know, because then we have Cocodona, and that's going to be another. I don't even want to think about that yet. Thank you very much for listening.
Me neither.
No, I know. But the next one. So, yeah, last episode. And then when I'm back, I'll talk to you. I will walk you guys through the experience of Jordan, and then we'll get ready together for Antarctica. That one, I am especially excited. And everyone that I tell them about Antarctica are like, what? So you can definitely do not miss the next season. And just follow me on my socials. Andy will be putting up there, I'm sure, as always, all the
details,
updates of where, if I'm still alive, what's going on in the race. So follow up, send us your messages, and yeah, you also have a link there to send me a message. As always, I'll be able to read it. Remember, I cannot respond, but I do get them, and I do appreciate them a lot sometimes. And it's really fun to be in the cyber tent, is called, where you go and read the messages, and to get a message, and you're just sitting there with like 6 other computers, and you sometimes can see people reading messages and like breaking down, and it's just fun. So yeah, so send me messages, because it's really fun. Sometimes we all cry, we all laugh there. It's a really good time. So yeah, send me something so I have something to read, because I do not want to have just no messages to read.
Just messages from me.
So yeah, thank you so much for listening. I hope this season left you a little bit more inspired. You learned a little bit. I leave this season a little bit with, obviously, it was a bittersweet end of the season, but I am excited and looking forward to Jordan and what it's in store for us in a couple of weeks. We'll be back after the break, and yeah, have a wonderful couple of weeks. Not weekend. A couple of weeks. And remember to keep doing whatever makes you ultra happy.